Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, this is Tuck Rule Takes. Welcome back. This is episode 43. I am Mike Sullivan, but if you've been here for 43 episodes, you can call me Sully. I am wearing my alien shirt. My aliens are playing beer pong on the shirt. Aliens exist. That's what the shirt is. We had a whole conversation about it before we hit record. Great conversation. Great aliens. Aliens do exist. You can tell because they are playing beer pong. With me, as always, fresh off the parquet floor, putting up a nice 20 piece, assists abound, rebounds everywhere, couple fouls because he's a tough player. He's the Marcus Smart type of a player. With me, as always, the Irishman himself, Liam McDade. Liam, I know how you're doing, but you tell everybody how you're doing right now.
War torn, withered, but happy to be here.
Happy to be here. And that's actually a good segue because there is going to be no real bullshitting beforehand. I'm happy to be here. There was apparently one person who was not happy to be in New England, as we know. That is Thomas Edward Patrick dipshit Brady. If you have been living under a rock, you do not know this, so I will tell you. The Miami Dolphins, they have lost. They got in trouble. They got in trouble for their.
Oh boy.
They
got bugged.
Yeah, they got in trouble for basically tampering with they got in trouble for tampering with Tom Brady in the 2019 season, and then actually throughout the 2019 season. Sanctions abound with them. What they got their 2023 first round pick completely taken away from them. Took it away. They got fined $1.5 million, which, I mean, for a football team, that's not a
too much.
Yeah,
that's less than a minimum contract.
Yeah, not crazy. But they also lost their 2024 third round pick. What the NFL said, they violated the integrity of the game. And again, that's for tampering with the one and only Tom Brady when he was a New England Patriot and also when he was a Buck last season. For some reason, somehow, Tom Brady is sliding once again. He's getting no criticism here. I don't understand it. I've read probably 3 or 4 articles, blogs, whatever you want to call them, and all of them are saying, like, you know, the Dolphins should be, you know, their picks, they're fine. That money should go to the Patriots. Those picks should go to the Patriots. You know,
that would be sweet.
That would be awesome. I feel like that's how the
I think they're gonna be shit. That'd be awesome.
Oh yeah, we know the Dolphins are not going to be good. But Stephen Ross is freaking out saying that the league came down hard on them. Everyone's like, they should have came down on you, blah, blah, blah. No one is when you have a conversation with someone, Liam, is it possible to have I guess it is, but you can't just have a conversation with yourself. There has to be someone on the other end of that phone. That other person, Tom Brady, is getting no criticism, and I don't understand it. Liam, how do you feel about this? Because I have been upset since I read it, and I've seen the lack of any sort of negativity being thrown towards Tom Brady.
I really wish these fucking Tom Brady stories would just stop already. It's so annoying that we constantly have to talk about this fucking guy.
It really is.
It's such a strange situation that, of course, he gets no criticism. The league doesn't dish out any punishments. If the league dished out a punishment, the criticism would follow. It would amp people up. Mm-hmm. I haven't seen anyone really speaking out about how Tom Brady should get in trouble here. He's on a team. He was on a team when this happened. There was reports that it happened again last season. Yeah, it was again last season too. So on 2 separate teams, he's going behind teams' backs to try and make this crazy plan to, you know, Tom Brady is the greatest quarterback of all time. But he wants to be too much. Yeah, he is. I hate to say it. I'm like holding back. Like, really? But he is. And that's just me being bitter. But without a doubt. But he's trying to make himself a super athlete like Michael Jordan did, in a sense, where Michael Jordan was president of the Wizards and the player for him. Tom Brady was like, all right, well, if I'm in this category, 7 Super Bowls, Everyone calls me the GOAT,
Greatest of all
undisputed
time.
now. Exactly. So it's gone to his head. It's so obvious since he's left the Patriots. It's all commercialized. It's all about Tom making money. All these GOAT jokes going around. Tom Brady's always on Twitter poking fun at himself. Ooh, I can't believe a skinny guy made it this far. Yeah, we get it. It's clearly gone to his head. He's pulling a Michael Jordan. He wants to do something that no one in the NFL has done before, being a president, being a player. And the Dolphins were one of the teams that were just stupid enough to even consider that possibility. And of course, they get caught for it because it's the Dolphins and it's a dumpster fire organization. I don't get it. There's no criticism toward Tom Brady. He's still on a team. This happened with two separate teams. The Patriots the Patriots organization should be flipping out. The Bucs should be flipping out. I get it with Sean Payton. He's not in the league. He's not on a team. He's technically retired. Yep. Even then, you still have to ask permission for the Saints. But if Sean Payton answers, if Sean Payton talks back to them, whether he's supposed to or not, he's not committed to a team right now. He's not in the league. So that's completely different. If Tom Brady stayed retired, this would be a different story, at least for the Buccaneers aspect. With the Patriots aspect, that's still really shitty. As a Patriots fan, that just shows how out on the Patriots Tom Brady was in that last year.
Done.
He was completely done. Talking to the Dolphins, you got to be completely checked out.
A rival, a division, and like granted, yeah, sure. Oh well, they're not rivals because you always beat them, but it's still a division rival. I'm reading all the little snippets and everything right now from it. The NFL in their thing said impermissible communications with quarterback Tom Brady in 2019 through 2020, while he was under contract with the New England Patriots. Those communications began August 2019, continued throughout the season and the postseason. Do you remember? I think the Patriots went 12-3 to start that year or something like that. And then they started to kind of fumble around a little bit. They sucked. The Titans playoff game was horrible. I believe Gronk in one of his interviews said that year the vibes felt weird in New England. He said it was different. It just felt there was a weird Tom Brady was being weird in a lot of his interviews. Like he was kind of saying, not, it was just all very weird. And you know why it was weird? Because of this shit. Because he had 1 foot in the door and 1 foot out. He wanted to go to Miami.
Obvious.
It's ridiculous. People who have been with him, your Matthew Slaters, your Devin McCourties, your Gronks, your Edelmans, players who have been there forever are probably looking at it and they're like, something's off.
Tom didn't come in today at 5 a.m. or he doesn't have that same luster. He doesn't have that same gusto. Like everyone get in the huddle. We're going to practice our ass off today. Like, no, it probably wasn't like weird. That. I'm sure it was fantastic. I'm sure he worked hard, but it probably wasn't up to that Tom Brady level. And they're like,
there's no way in hell it was. There's no way in hell. It's almost like the way I put it. Okay, so you're in a relationship with someone. You can kind of see that the relationship's going down. You still have love for that person. You're kind of like, oh, I don't know. Then all of a sudden, the shiny new girl from Miami comes to talk to you, and you're like, oh,
we know Miami girls.
Now she's giving me attention. She's giving me so much attention. She wants me to immediately move in with her, which Miami wanted him to be a part owner. So that's how I'm equating that.
Of course.
And then all of a sudden you're like, oh, I can go there. It's nice. It's sunny down there. I can you're telling me I can not only can I move in with you, but now you're going to bring in your other lady friend, Sean Payton, to live with us too. Oh my God, that sounds like a great situation. Cause like my girlfriend now, she's getting kind of old. She's a little curmudgeon-y. I don't know if I want to stick with that. Still love her, don't get me wrong, but it's not you, it's me. I need to move on.
Not only that, bullshit. They want you to date both of them. They want you to be the first Mormon person in Miami. In Miami history, you will be the first Mormon, and you're just fired up about it. You want to make history. You're like, fuck yeah, let's start a Mormonism down here.
Of course. And then you're like, wait a minute. And then every once in a while, I get to see my ex here and there. And I kind of get to
stick it to her
face that I'm over here with this girl. Yeah, that's it. Fuck you, Tom Brady. That's what he did. I don't understand how he's getting the pass here. He literally was to the detriment of his own team, the team that he's been with for 20 plus years, who you and I have figured out that he did not really give a shit about. Everybody else is still suckling at his teat for some reason. He did
the
not
Dolphins
care
were 5-11 that season.
That's just it.
The Jets were better.
It doesn't even make sense. That's the thing. It doesn't. Like the whole the team
He
choice
must have
doesn't make
really fucking
sense.
hated it at the end.
That's the thing. I see people, you got your sports writers, your Tommy Currens trying to make excuses like, listen, I know it's a bad thing that he did this, but they gave him that bullshit extension, which really was nothing, and this and that. Brady and the Patriots have been playing ball like that for the last 5, 6, 7 years of his contract. But now all of a sudden is when he's gonna, look
Now he's got a
outside,
problem with it.
outside the relationship and try to get your jollies off somewhere else. What are you talking about?
Do you think it's like a publicity thing where Tom Brady is now once again the face of the league and they don't want to, suspend him, or because this is a big offense. Like I would say minimum, he's got a Deshaun Watson suspension, like 6 games. Like this is pretty big. The Dolphins are sacrificing a first round pick. That's about as serious as it gets.
Oh, that's huge. That the thing is, the Dolphins sacrificed that they didn't even get the player, so they're stuck with Tua, and they lost their first round pick,
and they lost they got fucked.
They lost their head coach because of a whole nother issue, which
was a great head coach.
No issues with Brian Flores, but yet they lost him in
all because he wanted to win games. They were like, we want to lose. We'll slip you a couple bucks if you lose, and he's like, I'll make less and win. And they're like, no.
I guess Stephen Ross said that was a joke. Like, I guess he in the findings, because I read a fair amount of it before I came on here, where I guess he kept saying like, I think we need to focus more on the draft as opposed to the season. He kept saying that. And then I guess when he offered Flores and, whoever else in the coaching staff money, he said that was a joke. I said, buddy, that's not a joke. You can't be saying this the whole time. That like,
hey, buddy. Here you go, and just slides a pile of money over. I don't think we're gonna do well this Sunday. And Brian,
it doesn't make any sense. That's like that's like me. That's like me and you hanging out and all day me being like, yo, that'd be crazy if we got some pizza later, right? And then like an hour later, dude, you know what I was just thinking about? Remember the pizza thing I brought up before? Like that'd be weird, right? And then like later on the night, I was like, dude, take this money and go get some pizza. You're like, dude, I don't want pizza. And I'm like, I was just kidding. Like, I don't actually want the pizza. That's what's happening here. This entire situation is weird. And then you throw in the Tom Brady mix on top of it. And the people in this town and around the league really are just like, they put Brady on such a high pedestal, which in some cases he's deserving of, but in this, they don't even want to kind of criticize him.
Friggin', he got suspended on the Patriots. He can get suspended on the Bucks. Like that's really, the thing. I don't know what the difference is because Patty Mahomes wasn't in the league when he got suspended. Tom Brady was still basically the best player in the league. Like it was Peyton Manning at that time. Friggin'
Aaron Rodgers.
Russell Wilson
was Drew Brees.
Yeah. So there were other big names, but come on, like friggin' Patrick Mahomes is right there with Tom Brady right now in the league.
Josh Allen at this point is starting,
everyone keeps talking about Josh Allen.
He's up there. Who, by the way, he started a fight with one of his offensive linemen or one of his D linemen, so that was good.
I wish they snuffed him.
But I don't think, and I was trying to find out, and it's probably easy. My simple mind couldn't figure it out. I don't think that Brady technically broke any rules in talking to the Dolphins, because I think that as a player, I don't know, because I think as a team talking to, I don't know if he did break a rule, or if there is like a black and white rule in the NFL rule book where a player cannot talk to another team. Because I know there obviously is with the organization talking to a player, but it's almost like, is it like that weird loophole where like the player can talk to them because the player doesn't really have any power to make any signing decisions or something like that? Either way, it's stupid. He still sat there, was putting the Patriots jersey on his back every single day. Meanwhile, he's fantasizing about playing and being a part owner of a shitty team in Miami. You know why he wanted to be a part owner in Miami? Because he could never beat Miami in Miami. So he's like, the only way that I can beat them there is if I literally own them, or if I'm on the team. Impossible. He would probably suck in Miami because he wouldn't know how to win in their
that team is pretty suspect too. Do you remember when Earl Thomas ran after was it Jerry Jones?
It was Jerry Jones.
Yeah, and he like ran after him and was like, "Come get me," when he was on the Seahawks. Yep. And
Yeah.
I remember that was a huge story at the time, and he didn't get in any trouble for it. So it must not be illegal for players to do that. But
Yeah,
that
I
was
feel
a
like it's one of
huge,
those
like,
moral things.
yeah, it was an integrity thing. And
Yep.
all the Seahawks, his teammates were like, dude, what the
Oh,
fuck?
I'd be
Like,
pissed.
they're like, you're kind of our entire defense. Like, Cam Chancellor had retired, Richard Sherman had been traded. They're like, dude, you can't do
Basically
this.
him and, it was basically him and Bobby Wagner.
Yeah,
and,
and
and a couple
what
other
the fuck
people,
is
but
this? Yeah. Come get me. So,
I
like,
don't
that's
know.
just a shitty thing to do. If it's not illegal, it's a shitty thing to do.
That's what it is. And I think right now, Patriots fans and Tom Brady, no Patriots fans and Tom Brady fans are just afraid to criticize him. Like they are going to need him to literally break a rule. And even then, I don't think they would criticize him.
Yeah.
But it's so weird to me that he is skating by and getting zero criticism, or like if someone does, they're like, oh yeah, sure, it was kind of shitty for him. But like you got to see it was a shitty situation at the end in New England and blah, 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 X, Y, and Z. I don't care. Then wait till the season's over. You want to sit there and say your team first and, you're Mr. Tom Brady. I put the team before everybody. Bullshit. This is again showing that Tom Brady isn't this golden boy that, or at least for the second half of his career.
His legacy, his image, he's superficial as hell.
Now, to start his career, I don't think he was like this, obviously.
I
think he was, for the first maybe
this didn't happen until, I'd say 2018. 2017.
You want to when I think this started? When he started putting up all those numbers in losing in Super Bowls, in losing and not winning. And then all of a sudden, because he probably looked in the mirror talking to Giselle and she's probably in his ear too, because he can't throw and catch at the same time. He was probably sitting there looking in the mirror like, what else can I do? It's not me. So if it's not me,
after the Eagles Super Bowl when he threw for 505, he's like,
exactly. Yep.
God damn. He's like,
and he's like, I don't know.
Fantastic.
I don't know what else I could have done other than hit James White on the outlet, coming out of the backfield instead of getting strip sacked. But it's like,
could have done that.
But it's like, I think that had to be like where the seeds were planted for this.
That would make a lot of sense.
And then it kind of turned into the whole, like, now I'm going to bring, my, Alex Guerrero in my little documentary, I'm going to show that like we had to sneak him into our little private fuck room. So like he could rub me down and no one could know. And it's like,
so he can rub me down.
The more you look at it, I don't understand how Bill Belichick comes off as the villain in this story, because Bill Belichick always put the Patriots first, and you can say, you can pick out a handful of moves like, not signing certain people or, benching Malcolm Butler. But at the end of the day,
trading guys early.
The outcome of these moves does not change the reasoning behind them. He did all these because he thought it would help the team, not because he was trying to stroke his ego, not because he was trying to do all these things. He always puts the team first. Tom Brady, for the second half of his career, did not do that. And you're starting to find out now that he,
on every talk show,
financially wasn't doing it.
Like that Bill has this crazy ego. And I look at it and I'm like, am I missing something here? Like, what are they seeing that I'm not? That Bill has this insane ego. It's like, are you just trusting these reports that people say? Because I see Tom Brady and all the commercials and the throwing the football all the way to the moon. Oh my God. It's like, my golly.
He's in on the joke. He's like, like you said, oh, look at this skinny guy. Crazy. He got to be the GOAT.
How did this gangly white guy become the greatest quarterback ever? 6th round.
It's not funny when the cool guy, it's not funny when the cool guy pretends that he's now in on the joke. It's like, it has never been cool. It will never be cool. Like, just like now Gronk in his commercials is playing the stupid guy. And it's like, dude, you're 30 something years old. Stop acting like you're the big, dumb
read a book
guy. It's not funny anymore. But both of them, they can both fuck off. But I just, Tom Brady needs to be vilified more. And I think
we'll do it.
Saying that a couple of years ago when he first left, you kind of got put in the circle where it's like, oh, you're just butthurt that he left. And we were obviously upset that he left.
Yeah, that sucked.
But now I feel like people are, or they have to start to see that Tom Brady isn't this godlike, he got burned by the Patriots guy that you all think he is. He's not. If anybody has the ego, It's him. It's not the whole, who got who out of town. Kraft picked Belichick over Brady, blah, blah. Of course he did, because Belichick's a coach. Brady's it's just the glass needs to shatter at some point on these people's houses, how they think Tom Brady is. And if this doesn't do it, where he literally, to the detriment of the team and I'm talking to Patriots fans, Patriots and Bucks fans, to the detriment of the team that you cheer for, he was not fully focused on the game. He was trying to weasel his way down to Miami and bring Sean Payton with him and become a part owner, player, like you said, become one of the first one to do all that stuff. And that's awesome and all that. He is not this squeaky clean golden boy. He's just not. I'm sick. I'm sick of pretending that he is. I'm sick.
If you're getting a haircut, you want your barber thinking about, oh man, I'm gonna cut the shit out of the next guy's hair. The next guy's gonna get the nicest fucking haircut around. I'd be like, yo, buddy, you got scissors to my neck. Fix my shit up top.
You slip once, my ear's gone. So please stop. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, if you any job, like anything you can think of, even if you're just like scanning things at the register or whatever, it's like, you don't want someone to not be like, I am a delivery guy for Amazon. You, sir, as someone who orders a package, you don't want me thinking of my next 8 of my stop, whatever, 8 stops from that, because you want to get your pack. You don't want me missing it and fucking that all up. To that small example, to this giant one where you have fans who literally live and die for the sport. But yet when it comes to Tom Brady, everybody's blissfully ignorant and looks the other way because they're too busy ball washing him and be, oh, Mr. Brady, do you want me to bend over for you now? What do you want?
Can I get a TB12 hat?
Oh my God. Yeah, please. It'll look so good on my head. Can I lick you? Like, all this stupid shit. I hate it. Tom Brady to me is the villain in this Patriots Tom Brady breakup story. He is the one. He is the villain in the story, not Bill Belichick. I don't know how he's skating by. That's it. And I hope that I can't even say that I hope it happens, because it would have happened already. People are
it's not happening.
It's not going to happen, because with the Patriots, people are just going to say, oh, well, he was trying to get out from, big dictator Darth Vader Belichick. And then with the Bucks, they're going to say, well, Bruce Arians was a clown. He was trying to get away. There's always
something that's so weird.
Always. When remember the big conspiracy when he retired, and it was like, he's just trying to retire to get out from under that contract so we can go be a part owner of the Dolphins. And people were like, that's a crazy conspiracy. I don't know about that. Well, guess what? It was right.
That's so far-fetched. You're like, it's actually not.
It was close fetched. It was not far fetched. It was all true.
It was a handoff.
The easiest call in the history of plays. The crazy part that I've seen, the big brain conspiracy, is how this all started because Belichick sent the wrong text to Brian Flores saying like, congrats, Brian. And then that's when they opened up the thing. And now
those text messages are hilarious.
And that was the door that led to the investigation, that led to the tampering, that led to this. People are saying big brain Bill Belichick was like, listen, Tom Brady, you little fuck, you weasel shit. I saw you texting Miami when you were on the bench when we were losing to Tennessee. So you know what? I am going to mistext Brian Flores. So then he all of a sudden releases these things. Everything happens, and you aren't going anywhere fucking near Miami.
Because you meant to text Brian Daboll, right? The Giants, I mean.
Exactly.
Oh my God. Yeah, he's like, congrats on the Giants job. And Brian Flores is like, I interviewed this morning, but I think I did really well. And he goes, oh, I fucked up. He's like, they're gonna hire Brian Daboll, but good luck, my man.
And then everything snowballed to this. So I think if I hope that was the case, because that is just one of those things where you have just in his living room,
and he's like, he gets the word from one of his colleagues or whatnot, like, hey, during the 2019 season, Tom Brady was up to some fishy shit, and he just tried it again down in Tampa Bay. Bill's like, all right, well, I won't let this one slide. Fires off a couple texts, just puts his phone next to him and goes back to whatever he's watching. Kind of gives one of these. Gives one of these. He's like, all right, job finished.
Yep. Job done. Job complete. And now he just
Yep.
sits back. It's that meme of the
Chaos
kids swinging on
unfurls.
the swings with like the fire behind him. Belichick's just, cultivating a
Everything's
brand
falling
new
apart.
dynasty.
Yeah.
Yep. All
Yep.
while you got Tom Brady now
Uh,
embroiled in this. You got a division rival losing their
he's
first
like,
round
he's like,
picks.
let's ruin some days here. I'm gonna take
Let's do it.
Brian Daboll's day, Brian Flores' day, and then in a year, I'm gonna really fuck Tom Brady over this
Yep.
one. All right, fire
Big
this
brain
one off.
stuff. Chess,
Yeah.
not checkers.
He's
That
like,
is why
I never
Robert
really
Kraft
liked that
chose him.
Dolphins owner either. Let's get one of
Yep.
these in here.
Yeah. It was like, yeah, I could never really win down there. So I think we'll fuck with them too. Why not? Right.
Let's get him out
Might
of
as
there.
well.
Oh, fuck, that's so
crazy.
funny.
It's just, I don't know. I wish that people would get out from under the Tom Brady lenses, the Tom Brady glasses, and just see that, like, you guys, yes, the Dolphins were tampering with someone. The person he was tampering with should get blame as well. Like, it's just common sense. But like we've said, when it's Tom Brady, just the blinders come on and no one does anything. Everybody kind of chooses to look the other way. And I do not choose that life. I choose to see reality, not this Tom Brady reality, weird world you all live in. So Tom Brady, good job. You tampered. You essentially killed the 2019 Patriots season. Maybe that's why your last though with the Patriots was a pick six. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Maybe if you weren't, trying to think of the right emoji to send Stephen Ross, you wouldn't have thrown that pick. Maybe you would have beat Tennessee in the playoffs. Who knows?
Very winnable game.
Yeah, but
I'm not still salty.
Yeah, no. Me neither. Again, I'm not even salty anymore that he left. I am just salty how everything transpired because he left.
Yeah.
We are moving on to bigger and better things with Mac Jones and the whole, like I said, the dynasty that's being cultivated, that's being, put in the ground, watered, tended to right now. And unless you have anything else to talk about with this Tom Brady bullshit, I would actually like to get to the team that we cheer for.
Yeah, spare me.
Who are the New England Patriots? There's a lot of like little storylines going on right now. The first and foremost, let me see here. I just wanted to make sure that I get his contract right. Jake Bailey, punter extraordinaire for the New England Patriots. He had a down year last year, but in 2020 he was number one ranked punter. Yeah, of course he did. Right now he got a 3-year extension. His cap number dropped, which is actually good. It dropped like $1 million, I think, which is pretty awesome. But yeah, he signed through 2025. Why can't I see his contract anywhere? Oh, there it is. 4-year, $13.5 million. He signed through 2025. Best punter in the league. He's getting paid like it now. Again, I'm not going to look too much into last year because I don't think, like the numbers may not have been great, but just watching him punt, it wasn't all that. But he had a few bad games, which I think really screwed up his stats. But I'm excited. I love Jake Bailey. I think that he is the best punter in the league. If not the best, he's 1B. I don't know who the best would be. You'd have to think of someone else, but I'm pumped about it. Also lowers the cap number a little bit. So Pats get like just under $2 million in cap space.
Is this weird?
Anything? What?
That they signed a punter. He's great. He's great. I love him. The Patriots have had a long string of fantastic punters.
Yeah.
Going back to my man, Zoltan Mesko. He's not even dead. I just point to the heavens.
Yeah, I know. What was that?
The ball.
I was about to Google it. I was like, wait, Zoltan?
I always point to the heavens. I point to the heavens because that's where he would kick the ball. But
it's a good one.
Yeah, see what I did. Yep. But yeah, so but like the Patriots, they don't pay anyone. That's their thing. That's their MO. We didn't pay Lawyer Malloy. We didn't pay Richard Seymour. Like, we ship these guys out. We didn't pay Asante Samuel. We don't pay these studs. We just paid a kicker. I mean, a punter. Doesn't matter. They do the same thing.
Yeah.
It's just very strange to me. I like it. He's great.
Yeah,
more
for
power
sure.
to us. Like you said, it saves us in cap. But when I saw it, I was like, really? Like, we've let better players go and not sign them, and we're going to lock in a punter, which I think is very replaceable position. Like, kickers are a little different to me. Like, there are a lot of shitty kickers out there, but with punter, it's like, just kick the fucking ball high. Like, there are the elite ones. Andy Lee was fantastic. Yeah, like, you got Johnny Hecker, who's significantly above average and can throw the ball.
He might be the number one, if not for Jake Bailey, because I know even Belichick loves him.
Yeah, but it's like, so if you're getting one of those guys where it's like Johnny Hecker has special teams trick play potential throwing the ball, so I get that. Throw the bag at him. He does something other than just what every punter should do by definition. I don't know. When I don't hate it, but when I saw this, I thought it was fucking weird.
It is weird to think of because it's at a time where I think this whole offseason, people are worried about who's going to play where at pretty much every position.
Yeah.
Belichick signing him, though, I think it kind of is a very, and I feel like we say this about almost all the moves they do. It's a very Belichick move in the sense where he does value like the hidden yards, the special teams where, kicking, downing a ball at the 6, 5, 4-yard line is better than downing it at the 20 or having a touchback or something like that. Or so I think it's just, Belichick probably saw that, he could keep this guy. He values what he does. He values special teams, like I said, more than probably the majority of coaches in the league. And I think we've seen that
ever.
I think we've seen that pay dividends for the most part. I don't think there's ever been a time where it's kind of been like, oh, why does he spend so much time in special teams? Because Patriots are normally the team that's almost always as zipped up as they can be on special teams when it comes to kicking, when it comes to punting, when it comes to downing, everything pretty much. So
it's very important. I don't want to undersell special teams.
No, but I get what you're saying. It's not even, I don't even know if weird is right. It's just one of those ones that makes you go like, huh, okay. Like, yeah, that's good. Like, it's not one of those things where it's like, why did they sign him? They could have used that money to do X, Y, and Z. It's like, not that at all. It's just like, oh,
it's a weird thing I like special teams, but if you're going to give somebody on special teams a contract, like punt returner or Matthew Slater or anyone that's like, I don't know, like a great kicker, like Adam Vinatieri, I wish they continued to pay him.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he played until he was like 80.
Yeah. Jesus. Gostkowski, I get it. He was sick for a while, then he fell off really steep. Punter, it just feels weird to me. I'm like, I understand the importance. The 2010 Chargers, number one offense, number one defense, missed the fucking playoffs because they gave up 5 kick returns for a touch, or 5 kick and punt returns for touchdowns. Yeah, completely. God. They couldn't hit field goals. They shit themselves constantly. It was all because of their special teams. So it's very important. But a punter for all this, I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah, it's weird. I think
we signed Zoltan Mesko and who was the other kicker? Brandon Allen?
No, I can think
it was the other punter.
Who was the guy we had before Jake Bailey? And he was really good too. Like Belichick
always
seems to find
he got bundled on this one play. Like it was a missed. He missed the snap. It went over his head against the Jets. He ran after it, got absolutely crushed. Patriots, who was that? He was so good.
Year by year. I'm gonna look up because I can think of it. I can't think of. Jake Bailey, Ryan Allen. Is that who you said? Ryan Allen.
Yes. No,
Ryan Allen. That's who it was.
Brandon Allen's a backup quarterback, so Ryan Allen.
Yep. Ryan Allen was here from 2013 to 2019. So I guess when he finds good punters, he signs them. I get, but again, it's just strange. But I mean, I don't know. The net. Like the complete outcome of my thoughts for it. I'm happy that he's here. I think that it's an overall net positive for the team. It's weird. Because it is, I mean, he's not only, like you said, Patriots don't pay anyone. It's one of those things where they like to spread out all the payments, but he is now the highest paid at his position, which is something that they didn't do that often. So I think that's maybe Belichick changing with the times. I think when they drafted, it's like a couple of years ago. I think it was 2 years ago. They drafted Michael Rohrwasser, however the hell you say his last name. The guy that had like the
Nazi kicker.
Yeah. And I think that was going to eventually be like the next guy, or like, because he does like to kind of stagger the punters and draft him here and there. I think it's just whoever he was drafting or anything didn't work. So he was like, we have the money, he's the top in his, at his position. Let's just sign him, get over it. It's just another crucial part of the team in his eyes that he doesn't have to worry about. But I do agree. Just a little funky, little weird move.
I guess my recap, or like my ending thoughts on this, it's the Forrest Gump approach. One less thing. Like, all right, we don't have to worry about a punter. And he's probably going to be here for 5 years. So sweet.
Yep. Another signing too, because I think, this happened since our last show. Devin Godshaw, 3 years worth $28.3 million. Belichick called him one of the greatest tackles or defensive tackles in the league. It's a $10.5 million signing bonus. His cap numbers are just under 9 million, 10.5 million, and 11.8 million. Good contract for him. Decent contract for the Patriots. I mean, I think that he was he's been a bright spot on the defense.
Yep.
Nothing bad to say about it, especially
when I was at Patriots camp, he was making some plays too. He's clearly psyched up that he got that deal. Like, good for him. We usually run 2 D tackles anyway. And, we both share a criminally over exemplified love of Christian Barmore. So it's like, all right, now we got 2 studs in the middle.
Yep.
If I had to choose between one, I'm still choosing Barmore, but I like Devin. Sweet. He kills it. So good for him. Got the bag.
Yep. Good signing. Nothing bad to say about it. You mentioned that you went to Patriots training camp. One person who has, I guess, been the standout of the entire 6 days so far has been one Christian, whatever his middle name is, Barmore. I don't think that my hype level could be any higher for any. I think actually any Patriots player, including Mac Jones, I am not more excited for than I am when I am for Christian Barmore. I'm more excited for Christian Barmore than I am for anybody else on the team. I think
even Ronnie Perkins.
Well, I mean, he's in a Ronnie Perkins, by the way, I guess has been showing flashes. He's starting to fit in now with the defense, so he's doing well. The Raekwon McMillan's doing well. Anthony Jennings is doing well as well. But yeah, Christian Barmore, I guess, has just been blowing people up left and right. He's won every 1v1 he's had. He's been blowing up everybody from Isaiah Wynn to Trent Brown. Speaking of Trent Brown, I guess he threw down Matt Judon. Just threw him down today at practice, which, I mean, that's not common for Judon. So, but yeah, with Barmore being the standout, when you went to Patriots training camp and everything, what were your, did you see anything? Did you kind of like, what were the vibes? Who stood out to you? I know you mentioned, Devin and all that stuff, but how was it? How was the overall experience? Did it seem like everybody was excited, or was everybody crying because Tom Brady wasn't there?
It was weird. Last year was a lot more amped, but Cam Newton helped that, of course. When you have a former MVP and somebody with high energy like Cam Newton, he would, run right by the crowd, amp them up for each play and whatnot. He's a big energy guy. This felt like it was more like business. Like, the players weren't very interactive. Everyone was cheering for Mac Jones, and Mac Jones was zoned in, no contact with anyone going on.
Good.
You have, I love it. I was like, more power to him. And everyone's like yelling, trying to get their attention. I'm not that type. Like, I sit there, I'm here to watch you guys play football and whatnot. Mm-hmm. And I went with some guys from Couch Guy. They're all about cheering and trying to get the players' attention. For me, I'm like, I want to see what they're doing on the field. I love that they're focused. Kendrick Bourne, though, he's a man of the people. He was one of the few people interacting and whatnot. It was never crazy. It wasn't Cam Newton-esque level, but he would turn around and you could see he was dapping up all the players after big plays and whatnot. He's just like that guy. I don't know if he's the wide receivers coach. I think he was. He looks like Lovie Smith. I have no idea what his name is.
I just read his name. I feel so bad. I know who you're talking about though. Yeah. I just read his name like earlier today.
Him and Kendrick Bourne look like after practice they go out and get slam hammered together and like have a killer nights. Like, they seem like they're boys. Kendrick Bourne and him, after like Bourne had this killer big play on the sideline, toe tap, fucking moss this dude, and goes right over the assistant coach. We'll call him Lovie Smith. I feel so bad. I'll look this up later and amend myself in the next episode, but immediately goes over to Bourne, gives him a big hug and whatnot. You can tell he's just hyping up Kendrick Bourne. He's like, you are the man. Like, that was a killer catch. You're this dude. And Bourne reciprocated that to the other teammates and whatnot. I love to see that love and energy that, distributes to a team like that. As for my standouts, they had Damian Harris catching a lot of passes. And I thought that was suspect. I'm like, I get it. It's practice. And they're probably just, every running back goes through every drill. They were throwing a lot to Damian Harris. And I was like, he caught like 5 passes last year. I was like, we don't need to do this. I thought it was unnecessary. I'm like, throw it to the guys who are actually going to be catching. Ramondre didn't catch a single pass. James White didn't catch I didn't see James White at all.
James White, I think, is still on PUP list. I think he was still on it when you were there. Yeah, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, but Ramondre wasn't catching shit. I'm like, come on, like, get Ramondre involved. He's the one who's going to be catching screens and the flat routes and whatnot. Give him some catches. But they were feeding Damian Harris pretty hard. There was one wide receiver that was killing all the D-backs, though. You want to take a guess?
I'm between two people. Was it Siri's talking to me? Do you hear that? That was weird.
No, I didn't.
Siri is always listening. It's ridiculous. Was it Devontae Parker?
It was.
It was okay. Him. Yep.
He was.
That's what I heard.
Them. Oh my God! Smoked. It was rookie Marcus Jones just burned him. Absolutely roasted him. Quick tangent. Marcus Jones looks like a fucking linebacker. He is not a defensive back.
Does he?
It's so strange. Like up top, like he looks like he's huge. Like he's fat. He's strong. I'm like, this dude can't be a cornerback. And Devontae Parker was smoking many DBs, but in this one particular play, roasted Marcus Jones down the field for a big touchdown.
That's what we like to hear.
Incredible Danny Amendola-esque back of the end zone, kind of snag it over the defender catch that I'm going to post to our Twitter. Devontae Parker looks sick. He looks really fucking good. You could tell Mac was kind of forcing it to him a little bit because Jacoby Myers caught plenty of them, but
don't have to worry about that connection.
Exactly.
Yeah, that connection
in practice, like he was going to him a lot because that's a Patriots system, the Patriots way. Feed the slot receiver, he's going to get the most space. But you could tell a lot of his attention was toward Jonnu Smith and Devontae Parker.
Oh, be still my heart. I think it was the practice that because it was what, a couple days ago when you went, correct?
Yeah,
if I remember correctly. Yeah, that was, I think afterwards you see all the beat writers writing stuff. Jonnu Smith, I guess, is showing up, which is that him, and I think he might be like sneaky one of the most important parts of this offense, because if you can get him going with the routes that he can run, the blocking, the backfield possibilities. In one of the interviews after practice, he was like, I'll do whatever they want, which has been his mantra the whole time. It's like, I'll do whatever they need me to do, backfield, whatever, I want to help. Devontae Parker, though, I've been seeing that people have been saying he attacks the ball, like he is that threat. I guess the Patriots have been throwing more deep passes. They've been working on that more, which everybody should love hearing that. That's what I've heard, though. Devontae Parker has been like the
and
big,
I had no idea it was
big
him.
one.
Because I was like,
he's wearing number 1, right? Isn't he wearing?
I thought, because I heard Edelman gave him permission to wear 11. So I sit down in the stands, I get comfortable, I'm looking for 11, and then the first couple reps they take, I'm like, I talked to Matty B because he had the roster. I'm like, who's number 1? And he's like, looks it up. He's like, oh, it's Devontae Parker.
Like, don't tell me N'Keal Harry is fucking back.
Literally, I'm like, oh my God. Because I thought, you get rid of N'Keal Harry, you give his roster number to one of the no-name guys, like Christian Wilkinson or something like that.
Yeah.
Wilkinson did fine as well, but I was like, who is number 1? Of course, it's Parker. Yes, he was killing him. I loved it.
I love to hear that. I've heard that he's been doing that, and I think you'll be happy about this one. Nelson Agholor, I guess, has looked a lot faster and a lot more comfortable in the offense. And he's even said as much, this week too.
Yeah.
Which, God, if you just kind of pie in the sky as an optimistic Patriots fan right now, you have Devontae Parker and Nelson Agholor. Both can go deep. Aguilar's a little bit more of your burner type, where he's
Yes.
going to be one that will kind of outrun it. Devontae Parker's going to be one that will more go up and attack the ball. Not saying that Nelly won't, but just that's kind of their role. You got Jacoby Myers in the slot doing his thing. We know he's going to eat. Not worried about that. Kendrick Bourne doing damn near anything else. End arounds,
it's kind of
sometimes
like
deep,
great all around
screens. Exactly. You got Tyquan Thornton, who I guess him tiny risk be damned. He has been showing up, I guess. I guess his speed does translate. That's what people are saying. So you kind of sprinkle him in there. You got Hunter Henry going to do his thing. Not worried. If Jonnu Smith can get unlocked a little bit, buddy.
Yeah, and like you said, there was a strict underutilization of Jonnu Smith last year, and I get it. First year in an offense, and you got a rookie quarterback. Everything
not a lot of practice time because he had a baby. Yep.
Yeah, he was out for because I went to last year's camp. He was out for the entire practice that I watched, but I saw him. He ran it was a cover 3. The corner on the left side was blitzing, so they had the linebacker going out to the flat, and then the safety. It was Jonnu Smith on a corner out to the edge, corner of the end zone against the safety. Probably Duggar, but I don't remember exactly. Just completely perfect ball placement, of course. Mac Jones. Of course.
I mean, come on.
We're
talking about Mac Jones.
They'll never report that unless you're a Patriots fan. But just completely like one of the classic tight end. Like the safety's on his back. He big bodies him, catches the ball away from the safety, and Duggar falls over. It was like, he's on the ground. Jonnu Smith kind of walks. He was already in the end zone, caught it in the end zone, just kind of walks, struts, throws the ball over to the fake referees. Like, go time. Like, just shit like that. I was like, beautiful. Feed this guy. He's a possession guy, a red zone threat. Give him the ball in space. He can run it. He can catch it. He can do anything. He's a perfectly versatile tight end. Perfect. He can play fullback. He's fantastic. So I'm like, get this guy involved. I love that.
He can do everything. I mean, when he was with Tennessee, you could see he would catch screens. He'd be in the back, which he started to do a little bit of that last year with the Patriots. Yeah. But like you said, it's almost like they were just kind of holding him back, not by choice, but more by, necessity, because he was still learning it and everything. Hunter Henry was there, so he learned everything he got. I mean, I think if there's 3 people you don't have to worry about on the offense when it comes to targets, receivers, tight ends, Hunter Henry, Kendrick Bourne, and Jacoby Myers, I don't think you have to worry about them at all. Not saying that you have to worry about Parker, Aguilar, or I
don't worry about
Thornton. No, it's just one of those things where you kind of just want to see him play to his potential. I think that's what it is, where like you don't really know where he's going to be. And I think right now everything's fine. I guess Aguilar, I wish you were there to see this, because this would have been awesome to see. I guess Jones hit Aguilar with a touchdown, tight window throw in the end zone. He handed the ball to Cole Strange. Cole Strange spiked it. I guess Cole Strange was pumped. He can't, the exact quote is Nelson Aguilar handed the ball to an animated Cole Strange to spike it. So can you just imagine rookie Cole Strange all pumped up, spiking it? I can't wait. Actually, we'll save our bold takes, predictions, and everything for later on.
Trust me, I want to make so many already.
I got some things. I got some things to say, but one of them involves Cole Strange. But it just I hope that Aguilar kind of fits into the role here. I think he should. There shouldn't be an issue with it, because I think the wide receiver room is kind of perfect right now. You have Devontae Parker, who for all intents and purposes is going to be your number 1. He's going to be out there all the time. He's going to be the one out there. You got Jacoby Myers, who is, again, in theory, he's going to be your slot guy. He's going to play the majority of the snaps as well. Yeah. Kendrick Bourne will be out there a fair amount, but he'll be doing some crazy shit, reverses, all that. Yeah. Aguilar, if he can,
he's like the gadget guy to me. Like Thornton and Nelly are like we're going to change up the pace. It's going to be a lot of short passes, and then Nelly and Thornton will come in and rip it long.
Just go. Yeah. So, I mean, if you can have, Aguilar really start to progress in the offense, that'll make it easier for Tyquan Thornton to kind of fall in behind and still, learn the offense, learn everything, and still make, kind of contribute when he's needed. Then you got the running backs, not worried about them. I mean, Ramondre Stevenson, we know he's the back of the future. Damian Harris, maybe they're trying to get him to catch it more because they want to showcase him a little bit more, just to kind of maybe build up his trade value, something like that. James White, we know who James White is. Perfect. James White. Yeah, he can do no wrong. But you mentioned Marcus Jones. I want to talk about the other Jones. Jack Jones, I guess, has looked really good too. People have said. He's looked really, chippy. That's
Panda
been the
Express,
thing.
man.
He's been, which, I mean, hey, I actually drove by a Panda Express. I thought about him over the weekend. I was like, if I was him, I'd probably go in there and get some illegally.
Jack Jones, you're like, that looks pretty good.
But yeah, Jack Jones, I guess, has looked good. Jalen Mills, it looks like he has finally recovered from that injury. So he has looked good. I guess, he's looked like a starting caliber guy. Joshua Bledsoe, the safety for the Pats. His name has been brought up. I guess he's been playing a lot more with the starters with the first team. So, and I know he's kind of been hurt. So it's good to see him coming out there too. Like this defense,
I don't think he's going to contribute much though. Like in my eyes, like he's playing Adrian Phillips' role. And when Adrian Phillips is back, he won't be on the field.
Yeah. I think it's good that he's getting the reps, because if anything, it just kind of keeps him ready
Dangerous.
for keeps him a little dangerous. The defense is one of those things where I'm like, I feel like they are going to continue to be really good still. Like I know I have
no reason to doubt them. Like why
no one is pumped about the secondary, obviously, or I guess I shouldn't say that. No one is thinking the secondary is going to be a strength. But I don't think it's going to be a problem at all. I mean, especially you got Christian Barmore wrecking offensive lines and Judon, eating lunch.
worried. You got to think about it. They have to cover guys for 3 seconds until Judon and Barmore, Godshow, and Lawrence Guy get there. Come on.
Lawrence Guy. Oh,
yep. He's huge.
Lawrence Guy.
Gigantic.
Lawrence Guy. Oh my God.
Absolute moose of a man.
I can't wait to see. And that Ronnie Perkins. We all know Ronnie Perkins is going to do well. It's going to break my heart when he gets cut before the season, though. It's going to break my goddamn heart. I can already see it coming because he's like the one guy that I've been all for. I don't even know if I'll be on the show. I might just have like a stand-in, just like a picture of me on the screen.
A little cardboard cutout of you crying.
Yeah, just sad, just pure sadness.
I did not see much of him when I was there.
So one thing I did see, and kind of what I mentioned before, as I like to think I'm an optimistic Patriots fan. I like to think you are as well. There's a certain viewpoint that I'm seeing where a lot of people are saying that the Patriots offense has been struggling. They look disjointed, all this stuff. And might be the case. I guess, Mac has had a rough couple days, whatever, but it's one of those things. When you see that, do you choose to be worried a week into training camp, or are you more like, well, why aren't we giving credit to the defense for showing up and making plays? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know why it has to be either like if the offense does bad, it's on the offense. When the defense does well, like it's a weird line that I always see. And it's like, I think it can be both. I think the offense can be, not hitting on all cylinders, but there's no need to say that that's a worry, which I literally read an article on Nesson where, or Nesson tweeted it out where it was like, should we start worrying about it? And everyone's like, oh, does Mac Jones have the right signal call? Like, we're starting to bring that fucking shit up again. And it's like, guys, we are a week into training camp. Calm down. There is little to nothing that could happen where I would be like actually worried about anything right now.
Unless a player goes down, then I'm like,
of course, someone gets hurt, or like, maybe some player keeps showing frustration or something like that.
Or if we had N'Keal Harry on the roster, I'd be very worried. But
that would be hard. Well, we still wouldn't be doing the show if N'Keal Harry was on the roster. We would still be, temporary leave. But I'm not.
There is protesting.
Not many things can happen that would make me. Now, if we're talking a week before the season, a couple weeks before the season, and things still look disjointed and crappy and all that,
I'm a little worried.
But even then, that's exactly what I was going to say. Like my antennas are up a little bit, but I'm not going to be like, oh my God, this is an issue. Like, oh my God, why is Matt Patricia here? Joe Judge should have kept McDaniels, Mr. Run 3rd and draw on, 3rd and 8. We should have done all this stuff. Why aren't any of the coaches named? Why doesn't anybody have titles? Define me. Like, no, I would literally just sit there and be like, well, that's, something to look into, but I'm not really worried.
If I was a coach, look, I want my defense to dominate in training camp and whatnot because come actual game time, it's all offense all the time. The league's rules are slanted toward the offense.
Yep.
So during the season, the defense, it's all on the defense because it's going to be like, all right, well, the other team's going to score 20 points. Just hold them to 20 points and you'll win. But like, no matter, this isn't the early 2000s anymore. We're not going to get a 6-9 game. But like, friggin', it's all offense all the time in the league now. It's very skewed. So I want the defense to be balling out in the training camp and preseason, get those reps. While teams are making mistakes, capitalize on those mistakes because come regular season time, everyone's going to be ready and all those refs are going to be ready to pull every pass interference flag. They're going to do everything they can to keep it high scoring. They want entertainment. They want the casual viewer to love football. Exactly. When I was at training camp, Mac threw a pass and it wasn't a great pass, but it wasn't an outright terrible pass. This was basically like it wasn't 7-on-7s because the offensive line was in there, but and the defensive line, it was just like defensive players had pads and like they would rush, but they wouldn't go for the quarterback, obviously, because you can't hit him. And the outside corners had, pads on each hand and they would press and then the receivers would go by.
Yep.
And Mac throws like basically right off the line. I think it was supposed to be Kendrick Bourne kind of slips behind Jalen Mills. And Mac was trying to fit this pass, and Jalen Mills picks it off with 2 pads on his hands.
My man.
And I was just like, oh my God. Because like
Green Goblin.
I don't hold the highest opinion of him, but I was like, God damn, like we're making plays with pads on our hands on defense. I was like, no, and like the whole crowd was like, what the fuck? Because there's a huge line of players that stand on the edge. So you can't see some stuff. This was on the far side of the field. Everyone could see it. It was wide open. Just snags it like clean, like claps, and the ball's in between his hands with 2 pads on them. And everyone was like, what the fuck? And it's just one of those things where if I was the coach, I'd be like, holy shit, that was excellent. That was the best play of camp because you are hampered.
You caught a ball with cushions on your hand.
Yeah. And the ball should go right through and you just clamp the shit. And I was like, oh my God. And that's what I'm talking about. If I'm the coach, I'm like, defense it up.
Yeah, and you got to think what side of the ball plays with more, when they got their swagger going, when they got their confidence, what side of the ball benefits from that more? The defense. The defense is always the one. You want a cornerback with a little bit of chippiness. You want a defense to play with a little bit of swagger, a little bit of that, extra whatever. Offense, it's more, listen, man, we are going to methodically beat the shit out of you. Defense, it's like, you get more hyped up, all that fun stuff. I would much rather have the defense have a tremendous offseason or a tremendous, camp and everything. So when they go in there week 1, they're riding high from, God, I know I can beat you because we were just beating our own offense. And I believe that our offense is better than your offense. So if I can pick off Mac Jones with pillows on my hand, you don't think I can pick off Tua in week 1 in Miami?
Yeah.
Come on.
Exactly.
Like that is what I would rather see. Now, don't get me wrong. I want the offense to do what they're doing, making great catches and all that stuff. To me, it's more, I want the offense to be the ones who are like executing the plays, even if the outcome or, if it's a bad pass here and there, that's always going to happen. You are never always going to get a good pass. I'd rather have the defense be the ones who are making the plays because they're the ones who will have more opportunity to do that in the regular season. Because like you said, who knows what's going on? Who knows if that was a game, if they would have called, just to use that play, if they would have called Jalen Mills for, pass interference off the line or something, which they probably wouldn't have, but just kind of,
you never know.
Like you said, where it was like, the refs are going to call more, when they're on the field. So
and
I would
like you said,
much rather have that.
We play some bad quarterbacks. So we had like 6 picks on Zach Wilson alone in 2 games last year. So get that out.
I'm not worried. It's just, and I know that, the beat writers, they got to write their thing. They got to have their articles. They got to do that stuff. I understand that, but it's so tiring when every single thing that happens, it's not just your commentary on it. It's you say one thing and then it turns into, it snowballs to like, oh, the sky is falling. Instead of just saying offense had an off day or an off couple days, defense showed up. It's Should we be worried about the offense? Is Mac Jones seems to have issues when it's 11 on 11 when there's pass rushers. Like, is he getting the right coaching? Speaking of that, why hasn't Bill Belichick named anybody? Like, this is unprecedented, even though it's not. Like, they say all this stuff, and it's like that to me is the line between your fan who enjoys watching the team, will still criticize him and everything, but is more of, on that optimistic side, as opposed to a fan that just wants to find something to bitch about because who knows? That's just who they are. So I don't, it has never made sense to me when the defense you're going, like when your own defense beats you in plays. I don't think that means anything in terms of how your offense is going to look overall in the season. So I don't, because especially if you're sitting there thinking that your defense is going to be one of the better defenses, like why are we going to sit here and all of a sudden worry so much that they're playing better against you when they're in the same fucking building when you're running your offensive plays and calling your offensive stuff? I don't get it. So I'm not worried about the offense. I wanted to run that by you because I didn't know if you felt the same way or if you were one of the people who were like, oh God, everything has to be perfect in the
I'm on the overblown side.
Yeah, which I think it is. I think it is overblown.
I do want to say, still on the Dante Hightower watch. I know you talked about Roquan. How's that looking?
Nothing. There has been zero words with Hightower, with McMillan. He's looking great. He's one of the three guys. I guess they said that the three linebackers, I think, who else was it? It was I know they were talking about Raekwon McMillan, not Anthony Jennings. No, it might have been. Yeah, it was Anthony Jennings and Jawan Benton.
I love him.
Those are the ones who they were like, these guys are kind of showing up, in preseason. They're kind of they're making plays, they're doing their thing. Ronnie Perkins, I think he's still kind of being eased back in.
I hope.
I'm starting to get worried. But maybe he's just one of those guys who is going to show up as it progresses, as the preseason progresses, and he'll do his thing there. Hightower still is not here though. I have not even seen his name being tweeted or talked about with anybody. And I don't
any team. It's so strange.
Nothing. And unfortunately, I don't even see, the more I keep reading about how these Patriots linebackers are doing, I don't think the Patriots are even gonna like really kick the tires on him unless he comes to them and says like, hey, I do still need a paycheck. I do still need to eat. Like, what do you got?
Yeah. I'll be a backup, I guess.
Yeah, something. It's gonna suck when he ends up going to the Bucks and playing with Tom Brady, which I feel like
that would be devastating.
I don't know. I feel Mac Wilson, I guess is playing well too. He was the other guy. Mac Wilson signing from Cleveland. Yep, he's playing well too.
So was this just like because he's done fantastic in the past. Is this just our Dante Hightower bias talking? Was he really bad last year and you and me just don't see it, or we're missing something, or we don't want to see it? Because if no other teams, like the Texans won't sign him, like no one.
I don't.
The Jets, the Dolphins, like any of them. I
don't know. Let me see. The only thing I can think of now is that it's injury. It's the only. Let me see. He had. I don't. Let me see. So last year he had 64 combined tackles. It's down from 2019, but that's more than 2018. That's more. That's kind of right around. That's on the lower end. In 2016, when he was a Pro Bowler, he had 65 tackles. So he's doing well there. He had one tackle for a loss. That's not great. No, it doesn't.
Yeah, there's nothing. He's never been like an interceptions guy. He didn't have any last year. So I'm not like, oh my God, he didn't get a pick last year. No, that's never been his type.
No, I think it has to be just the fact that
we got
he's getting up there in age. Yeah, I don't know. The only thing I can think of is his age and maybe teams are staying away from him because maybe teams have called him and he's kind of turned it down where he's just like, listen, it's either Patriots or I'm good with money. So I don't,
which would
that's
be
one
awesome.
of the,
But I don't know. I also feel like I'm being neglected or like shunned from watching Dante Hightower play football, and I thought he was fantastic. Like he was 54 after Teddy Bruschi. There was a reason he was 54. He's a big baller and the leader of our defense for years. And I'm completely stunned. This is one of the things with sports in general, not just football, where I'll look at guys and be like, they're more than capable of being on any team. Why aren't they?
and
I
immediately
don't
like
understand.
working.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just like typed his name into Twitter, Dante Hightower. There is nothing, no news at all.
Strange.
Raekwon McMillan learned from watching Dante Hightower. I like that.
Yep.
I guess Pierre Strong, our running back, was mistaken for Dante Hightower by a couple reporters. That's kind of good. I mean, if you're being, big fucking
Dude must
boy.
be a meat house. Yeah.
There's
who's the other running back that we got late? Like Kevin Jones or something like that. Another Jones, something like that.
Yeah.
He had a nice catch in practice when I saw him. The Mr. Calves. He was
because it
great.
was.
He had a nice catch.
I'll tell you right now. So it was Pierre Strong, obviously, and then there was, who did you say?
Kevin Jones.
Kevin Harris.
Kevin Harris. Okay.
Kevin
it's
Harris,
either Harris or Jones. Everyone on the team is Harris or Jones.
They're all, that's that. I think
Kevin
that
Harris,
again,
yeah.
That's what I think Belichick is doing. He's just building a team of one last name. So that's the next line.
He's playing a game within a game. But yeah, no, I didn't see much of Pierre Strong. It was all the later running back and then a lot of like force feed of Damian Harris.
Yeah, I guess Strong has like kind of been in and out. I guess he had a good practice today, or maybe it was yesterday. But yeah, the only thing that's coming up with Dante Hightower is just that Raekwon McMillan tries to model his game after him, which, I mean, that's
a good model.
Glad
we got him, but
that's the way to go. But yeah, no one, like, there is nothing. I mean, I'm back to July tweets, nothing going on.
So strange. I'll never understand that about sports.
I guess a couple people have kind of put out the, rumors are that Dante Hightower is considering retirement. That would make sense.
Yep.
That would make sense.
So maybe teams aren't interested if he's, halfway in and halfway out.
And it all comes full circle. You know why teams aren't interested in players that are halfway in and halfway out? Because when you play football on a team, you need to be laser focused. Tom. You need to be fucking ironic that's his thing. Laser focus. Oh, I gotta be laser focused. Where the hell were your lasers when you were on the team in 2019?
Apparently shooting all over the place.
Oh my God. I think that's a good full circle way to end. To actually, I do have one thing I wanted to ask you, a little trivia question, because I heard it and I was like, that's fucking weird. I didn't even know that this was a thing. And I was like, oh yeah, they did do this. Troy Brown, what round was he drafted in?
Ooh.
I don't think you will get this. And that has nothing to do with your smarts or anything.
I'm taking a shot in the dark here. But do you know what year he was drafted?
Why?
That might help me.
I'll tell you. Hold on. Little filibustering here. Troy Brown draft year. Let's find out together. See, I did this before. It brings up some fucking NBA player. I don't give a shit. 1993. Holy shit. 15 years, all with the Patriots.
Okay, that didn't help me.
When was he drafted?
I have to take a shot in the dark here.
Yeah.
And say he was a 5th round pick.
Are you ready? 8th round, which doesn't even exist anymore.
No fucking way.
When I heard 8, I was like,
that has to be a mistake.
It goes to 7. Did you know, another fun fact, up until 2010, there was an 8th round.
2010 was when they cut that out?
Yeah. There was an 8th round.
Really?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Yeah. I was looking at that and I was like, there is just no way. I'm pretty sure it was when did the NFL
Imagine
get rid of the 8th round in the draft? I'm pretty sure I saw it was 2010. When did the NFL draft move to 7 rounds? In 2010, the NFL moved to a 3-day. Let me see.
Imagine being one of the players that was taken in the 8th round, like a couple of years before they removed the 8th round, and then you're just like, whoa, like I really made it now.
You're like, holy shit. Yeah, I like barely like God,
Yeah.
if it was around now, it wouldn't even have mattered.
It would have been undrafted. Holy shit.
Let me see. Okay, maybe it wasn't 2010. Maybe it wasn't 2010. I lied.
I can't say that seems wildly late.
Well, that's why I was so.
I guess I wouldn't be surprised. He was a fucking 8th round pick, 15 years.
15 years. The fact that he was drafted in 1993 is crazy to me. Because that just doesn't seem
That's well before Belichick,
real.
Right?
Yeah, because I think Belichick came in what? Because he came in 2000, 99, 2000. Did he come in right around there, right?
And then it was Pete Carroll for a little bit, and then we had Bill. It was probably Bill Parcells who drafted him.
Probably, yep. When did the NFL reduce the rounds? In 1970, they went from 12 to 8. Why did they make this so difficult to figure?
Seriously.
Okay, 2000. Hold on. Here we go. Okay, no, not 2000. Okay, I give up. I don't know when. We'll never know. We'll never know when it happened.
The world may never know.
All I know is that Troy Brown drafted in the 8th round. Crazy. I saw that and I was like, I wonder if anybody knows this because I had no idea. But
what a big baller.
But yeah, that's that. So, do you have any parting words before we get out of here?
I guess we go forward with Roquan McMillan.
There we go. Dante Hightower. If you're out there, please come back. You. That's fine. Yeah. And if you don't, man, retire. Well earned. Patriots Hall of Famer. Probably real quick. Yes or no? Dante Hightower, NFL Hall of Famer?
NFL.
No. Yeah, I don't think so either. Patriots Hall of Famer, though. Yeah. I think it's a shoo-in for the Patriots Hall of Fame. So but with that being said, as always, fuck Tom Brady. This is Tuck Rule Takes. I'm Mike Sullivan. That's Liam McDade. We will see you next week for episode 44, the Heath Evans episode.
I was thinking James Ahead-a-Bow.
James ahead. Yeah, no. We'll do that. For the James Ahead-a-Bow.
No. I'm a fullback.
You're a fullback guy. You're a fullback guy.
We're gonna keep it with Lee Evans, or not Lee Evans.
Heath Evans. Lee Evans.
Yeah.
God no. But yeah, like I said, next week, same time, same place. And as always, the mantra, of course, we love James White. We are a pro James White, not pro Tom Brady podcast. So with that being said, screw you, Tom Brady. We out.
Ditto.